At its latest product event, Apple helped launch the mobile race for space. Through its emergency SOS service, iPhone 14 users can now avoid cell reception dead zones by connecting to satellites.
That connection is only possible when the phone is pointing directly at a satellite. However, satellites fly too high to be seen by the human eye. So we created a unique user experience that shows you where to point your phone.
The main limitation is we don't have a lot of satellites up that will support it. Apple's using, I believe, Globalstar, which is an existing satellite service with satellites already in the air, but it's a relatively low bandwidth service, and the satellites weren't really designed to work with cell phones.
Apple is partnering with satellite maker Globalstar to tap into its 24 low Earth orbit satellites. Apple's investing $450 million towards satellite infrastructure to support the feature. Right now, the service only supports short text messages.
Eventually, they're going to upgrade the satellite. They're going to have better antenna. They're going to have better iPhone that will process the calls and make sure that the call is coded in a way where the satellite can understand it, deal with the delay, because you're now talking about space, dealing with the movement of the satellite. So there are multiple obstacles still there. It's a new market.
The emergency SOS satellite service is free of charge for iPhone 14 users for 2 years. No word yet on what the cost will be after that. But Apple will face increasing competition. Google says it's working on satellite connectivity for its next Android version. And Elon Musk's SpaceX has already announced it's working with carrier T-Mobile to connect to Starlink, SpaceX's network of satellites.
And just hours before the iPhone 14 was launched, Chinese tech giant Huawei announced its Mate 50 would utilize satellite to allow short text and navigation. Huawei will be able to connect to the Chinese satellite network known as Beidou.
The 6G is related to the satellite. China is really ahead of that game because they actually launch a satellite which is specifically for the 6G. Once we have deployment of the 6G, which is by 2030, then having a satellite phone, having communication using the satellite is going to be very easy.
I mean, if you think about it, autonomous cars require connectivity. And if they can't connect to a cell site, their capability will be degraded pretty sharply. If they can connect to low orbit satellites, that can be bridged, and suddenly those autonomous cars will work far better in remote locations.
As tech companies battle over a new frontier, both tech experts we spoke with agree it will be consumers who stand to benefit the most, knowing that no matter where they go, they're within reach. Mark New, CGTN, Palo Alto, California.